Hello everyone. I'm gonna talk today about the internship I did last semester until now for EP-480. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about myself real quick. When I was younger, I really started to love the body. Might sound weird, but I was always interested and fascinated how the body worked in terms of how to build muscle the most effective way. Or I'm an athlete as well. I'm a tennis player here for Westlip, and what kind of exercises we use for tennis players, or why basketball players would do different exercises, or why some exercises are the same. I was always interested in that. Which comes to the first point I want to talk about, where I completed my internship. I completed my internship at the ASRC at West Lib on campus. So the reason I just mentioned was one of it. Another one why I chose this facility was I don't really have resources and options to go off campus. I don't have a car. I'm an international student here, so I don't have the ability probably to go somewhere else. So I was lucky enough and pretty happy that I could do something on campus. So I started last semester, and since then I witnessed so many different teams. I witnessed men and women's team. I witnessed, for example, as tennis players, we have men and women. The different exercises we did, or some of them might be even the same. The differences between sports, also the differences between in-season and off-season workouts. So when I started, I saw a lot of football teams last semester, and what was really interesting to me, because football is also a sport I didn't know a lot about, as I'm from Europe and American football is not the biggest thing over there, but I like watching it though. So, but yeah, it was interesting to me how they worked out. So what I noticed is they did a lot of exercises, and more exercises than other teams in a quite short time. So also the amount of weight they did was, of course, obviously way higher and way more than compared to the other teams. Also seeing the teams in season and off season. So I noticed that for myself as a tennis player. Last semester we were in season, and this semester we started our official off season in October. And what I noticed right away was that the weight changed, this amount of set changed, and the reps changed. So that was pretty interesting. Also the amount of times we went to the gym. So last semester when we were in season and our focus was on playing good tennis and having high performance on court, was that we don't get sore outside the tennis court and have a body that's still kind of fit and staying fit. So we went to the gym once a week. We could do more on ourselves, but we would one official lifting with a coach once a week. Now though, we went to the gym 2 or 3 times a week with a coach, and us as a team, we did more together without a coach. So the amount of gym work we did was way higher off season, which makes sense too, because the off season is pretty short for us tennis players, but we use this time efficiently to strengthen our body, because once the season starts, it can be pretty rough, because we tennis players can have 3-4 matches a week, maybe three like right after, and starting with doubles and playing singles, there could be a chance that you're on court for like at least 3-4 hours a day, sprinting, going for balls, running. So it can be pretty stressful for the body. So what a typical day looked like for me was, after classes, I went to the gym, to the ASRC, and just went downstairs. I got a schedule with the teams at the different times. Um, to be fair, I was so fascinated by everything, so I didn't really care what team it was. I just wanted to see a different workout because I was hoping to learn more, see different exercises, see different techniques. So yeah, last semester I spent a lot of hours a day in the gym. There were times I was 3, 4 hours in the ASRC gym and just watching teams. Also at different times. Sometimes I went in the morning when I had classes at 10 a.m. I went to the ASRC at 7 a.m. and watched 2 different teams, and I went back to classes, and after classes I went again to the gym. And was pretty cool because the fact that we have one of the most nicest looking gyms I've ever seen, and so different compared to the ones I know from Germany. There were a lot of resources we had that made it able for me to witness more exercises. And what was so cool to me is that how the basketball players, for example, what kind of movements they did to stay sharp, to be able also to like do explosive work, to have a strong upper body when they have contact at the rim, for example. There was a lot of stuff that kind of got answered just by watching it. So the fact that I was, like I said, really interested in the body, but uneducated kinda, I had a lot of questions in my head and didn't know the answer for it. And I'm pretty thankful that by watching and observing, I answered a lot of them by myself. I also learned about a lot from my coaches. So whenever I had a question, I was asking Coach Waters, for example, and who was doing the tennis exercises with us this semester, and I learned a lot about from him as well. Yes, I would definitely recommend this site to others. It's pretty easy to say for me because I was just fascinated by everything, by all workouts, all different teams, sports that I didn't really know, like softball, baseball. I didn't know a lot about these sports, but saw why they did these exercises by watching also the games on the TV, for example. And this definitely fits into a bigger picture for exercise physiology by just having this background information about exercise physiology, why or how the body moves, makes it easier for me in this case to understand the exercises as well. And that knowledge I had from the classes I took over the last semesters, I kind of got a feeling why they chose these exercises for this sport. Why, for example, some sports start to work in a hypertrophy area, while we tennis players work at a higher rep range when we are in season. Explosiveness, agility, even flexibility, which is super interesting. I'm gonna do an example about us again as tennis players. Why we do a lot of explosiveness. Why? Because we do a split step in tennis and we don't know where the opponent is going to play against, so that we react fast and are able to get to the balls. Also coordination work. That means as tennis players, we look at the ball, we move to the ball and we swing. So there's a lot of stuff going on which we have to manage. And with exercise physiology background, I kind of was able to understand and follow all these little things. I also had the feeling that this background knowledge helped me to understand techniques. Why do you do this technique, or why are you doing explosive jumps for tennis players, for basketball players? Why are we doing band work, resistance training, and all that stuff. That made it easier for me to understand. And yeah, I was super happy, thankful that I was able to do this, and it was definitely something I'm gonna do later on. So, like I said before, I was not really sure what to do when I got here, and the fact that I was fascinated in how the body works, moves, builds muscles, and everything, and reacts to different diets as well. I definitely want to go in that direction, and if everything works out, I hope I might be able to work with clients, if possible with athletes, and help them increase their performance on and off the court, help them to get stronger, to prevent injuries. And yeah, I'm thankful for the opportunity, that I was able to be here, to take this class, be on campus doing it. I want to thank Dr. Koenig, uh, Coach Hopkins, Coach Waters, Coach Matt, who's unfortunately not here anymore. Yeah, I was super happy doing this internship, and I'm looking forward to see and learn more in the future about different sports, different exercises, techniques. There's so much I could talk about even more and longer, and I'm already looking forward to increase my knowledge by starting a certification actually pretty soon, about it's a personal trainer certification. So I can't wait to learn more. And yeah, thank you very much for listening, and yeah, goodbye.